Guys, what made you realize this girl is definitely not into me? She really only talked to me when she needed something. Went to her apartment. Then I helped her with Tinder. I went to a chick's apartment once and she had another girlfriend of hers over and they spent a good amount of time rating dudes on Bumble. And proceeded to get about 50 matches in the 1.5 hours I was there. I was like, what the frick am I doing here? Then got drunk and left via Uber. That's about as well as that could have gone by the sounds of it. Oof. When she used to give everyone hugs, but only ever offered me a high five. Maybe, because you live in a village and she's into city boys. I went out to a restaurant, bar with 4 buddies. Some ladies sent over a round of drinks. To my 4 buddies. I'm guessing they must have specifically told the waiter give every one of those strangers a drink except Quasimodo in the corner there. Make sure he is painfully aware that he does not get a drink. It's funnier, because the waiter reinforced the ugliness. Plot twist. OP was the girls' type, but not the waiter's, so it was all a big misunderstanding. Plot twist. OP was the girls' type and the waiter's, but the waiter didn't want to lose his chances with OP. I know that gut punch. I was with 2 guy friends at our mall one time, years ago in junior high. A small group of girls started following us. So we stopped and waited to see what they would do. Eventually one comes over and says that her and her friends think we're cute and can they have our numbers. I remember feeling pretty badass just then. I didn't realize yet that I wasn't included, lol. So one buddy says he has a girlfriend. He did. Girl looks at buddy number 2 and he gives her his number. She says okay thanks and leaves. Didn't even look at me. Ego did the 180 that day. LOL. Gave a girl at work my number on a piece of paper and she handed it right back and said, we talk at work all the time so let's keep doing that. That sucks, but gotta give it to her. She ripped off the band-aid fast. No ambiguity in that rejection. I was thinking the same. Better than just ghosting him. Straight up and to the point. Not rude either. Just honest. I agree. As someone who sucks at social interaction, I'd rather be told hey I'm not exactly interested rather than them pretending. When's your funeral? Asked a girl if she wanted to grab lunch together sometime. She said she was busy that day, which was interesting as I never specified a day. Damn, she said hard pass. Hard pass. An unequivocal rejection with no possibility of a later change of mind. That sums it up. We set up a date. She stood me up. When I asked her, she simply said she forgot. Been there, except she didn't even respond when I asked. Ima drop a FF for you, because one doesn't represent it enough. Oh, this has happened. We went on a date, and sometime later I took a trip abroad and brought her back some stuff she asked for. Set up another date so I could get the things to her, and she didn't show. I texted her earlier that day to check that we were still good to meet, and responded much later, clearly not. Clearly not. So did something happen? I'm so confused. No, just throwing salt in the wound. Back in college, I took a girl on a lunch date. We had a really nice time. When it was getting time to leave, I told her I had to get to work. She said, where do you work? I said McDonald's, and I literally could see her attitude shift in 1 second. Oh, cool. So as I'm driving her home, I said, so can we hang out again? She replies, yeah, totally. So the next day I text and ask if she wants to hang. She never responded. Her mistake. She could be getting Big Macs and chicken nuggets all the time. Are those code words for his peanuts? I'm not sure where this chick expected a college kid to work at. I'm the lead engineer at Microsoft, just getting retrained in office management at this community college for fun. That was my reaction. Where the heck was she expecting him to work? Asked her to senior prom. She said yes, but when we got there she ditched me to hang out with another guy she liked. Wasn't too bad though, cause I danced with another girl who I got along better with. Man, I always feel so bad for people like this. My senior prom, I had my friend who liked my former best friend. He never explicitly said, and they went to prom together. Literally an hour into prom, and she's making out with a dude in the ballroom while they're slow dancing. My friend went outside and just danced the whole night away to the band outside. We joined him because it was so much more fun and less hectic outside. I thought my former best friend had done such a huge itch move. The guy she was with she had liked since our sophomore year of high school. It was just so messed up. Ouch. Well, I skipped my senior prom because no one would go with me, and I figured why pay for a ticket, rent a tuxedo, and drive to the prom just to go stand around with a bunch of people who don't want to dance with me? My girlfriend cheated on me about a month before my senior prom, so I wasn't gonna go, but a really good friend of mine forced me to take her, and honestly, I'm glad I did. Stopped texting first and realized that she never texted me for 3 days. It was totally one-sided. Nothing I hate more than a one-sided relationship, even with friends. And sadly I'm sure I'm guilty of it too without even realizing. An actual girlfriend ran this experiment and found that I didn't text her for a week. Some people are just it, i.e. me. My boyfriend's status didn't survive this experiment, but I learned from it. You live and you learn. I like people that admit their mistakes and grow from it. Hope you have a good day. How did you go a week without texting? Did you see her during that time? Did you notice that you guys hadn't spoken? I was 18, fun-loving and carefree, and I've always had a cool grasp of passing time. I had no idea. We lived a 30-minute drive for her / 60 minutes bus for me apart, so it wasn't unusual to go a week without seeing each other. She suspected that she was the one driving the text conversations, and apparently she was absolutely correct. I was so into this girl, and it sucks that I made her think otherwise. I'm 35 now, and we're still friends. I'm very happily married, in no small part due to some post-breakup coaching from the first girl on how to be a better human. My roommate encouraged me to ask this girl out. He said she really liked me, so I asked her out and set a dinner date. I pick her up and at dinner, she barely responds to me. I ask questions about her major, her family, etc. and all I get back are short answers and no follow-up. I'm frustrated and she's unhappy and I guess we both look miserable when the waitress tells us that we need to perk up and be happy. She then asks how long we've been dating. Her face falls when I tell her this is the first date. She goes oh, and walks away and doesn't really talk to us again. After dinner, we were supposed to go to a friend's house who was having a party, but I look at her in the car and say look, obviously neither one of us had a good time. Instead of going to the party, why don't I take you back to your dorm? She said yeah and that was it. I went back to my roommate furious and asked him why he thought she had a crush on me. He said he thought she would once she got to know me. Yeah, well she didn't. Call it a hunch, but I think she was into your roommate. The law of 80s, 90s sitcoms says this is true. They've got to get their material from somewhere, right? Ends up dating the roommate through all of season 3. They break it off by the end of season 4. Then to shake up the by now stale formula, she'll end up back with OP for half of season 10 before getting back together with the roommate by finale night in season 12. Oh snap. So, last fall I went to class and ran into this really cute girl and I thought hey, I'm gonna try to talk to her more, and over the next 2 weeks I found 0 openings until we were told to get into groups for a project. Small class, but I wasn't in her group, so I asked her if it was cool if I joined her group, because they seemed more serious than my other group. Bunch of losers. She said yes. So it was me, her best friend and another girl I'd talked to for a bit. We agreed to meet up on Friday at the library. We talked a bit more before then and became friends. She's really touchy, so she grabbed my arm, lean on me, etc. I thought she was into me. I show up early and she was there alone, so we began to talk and she's so much like me. Has a weird sense of humor, very smart, and super friendly. She even liked Dragon Ball. That's the dream. Also, her favorite Spider-Man movies were the originals and not the Holland ones. Then the other 2 girls arrive and I see her phone and her lock screen is of her best friend. The other girl comments, "Oh, your best friend's your lock screen." And she says nope, my girlfriend's my lock screen. So that really made me realize she totally wasn't interested in me at all. Funny thing is, we all are still really good friends. We've tried to take classes together and she's helped me out when I had trouble. I accidentally ruined her surprise birthday party. We hung out while we could. She'd buy us lunch, invite us to her place, and we really have a good time together. Those 3 girls are the best friends I've made in university. It's kinda sad, but before I went like 6 months without anyone in college saying my name or even talking to me. They weren't mean. They were just not my friends. But I met these girls and I have a friend network. I have a constant study group and she's even helping me lose weight because I couldn't do it on my own. She wasn't into me, but I honestly couldn't care less. I'm way happier now than I was before I met her. Damn, very mature of you. A friendship is not a lesser relationship to a girlfriend, it's just a different one. Good you realized this. Exactly. It makes me so sad that something that sounds as rad as the friend zone has such a negative stereotype. Such a wholesome story.